And to talk about the Q16, we need to discuss the multi-window on LED video wall first. And then we will show you the RGBlink solution can support you in the lab demo. Let's check how RGBlink can support you in the LCD video wall solution. The answer is Q16. To compare with other series, like RGBlink Black series, is designed for the matrix, and the X series universal processor is for the multi-display management. The new Q series are designed and focus on multi-window on LCD video wall industry, especially in monitor industry, because in the monitor industry, they have hundreds, even thousands IP cameras want to show IP cameras industry and to protect the people's safety. Also, they can be applied on the rental project and exhibition hall industry. But as we know, different industries have different requirements. For example, like in monitors, most of them use IP cameras, and in the rental, most of them use the HDMI or DVI. And in the exhibition, most of them use the desktop signals. So let's check how Q16 to meet those and their requirements. Let's check it together. On the front panel, it shows different designs and means on production series. So now let's check the rear panel. The rear panel is to show its powerful capacity for different industries. And if you have checked the PPT before, and you can check we also use the redundant power in it. Means if one power loss, the other will support the power directly. On Q16, the first information I'd like to introduce the configuration for the Q16. Q16 with 4U standard design and support up to 16 input and 16 output. Also, it can support up to 4K inputs. So if the quantity is still not enough for you, don't worry. We have the other device, Q32. Just like the name, Q32 can support up to 32 input and 32 output, and it uses the 9U standard size. The second most important information for Q series is multi-window, because it's the most important feature for the Q16. So it can support up to 24 layers each output. Please remember the quantity. 24 layers each output. And no matter it's 2K or 4K input signals, both of them can be supported. And it's 24 layers each output on the Q16. Also, it's very easy to learn the export software to control the Q16 device. Now let's check the input module. As RGBlink other products series, Q16 also use the modular design. Modular design means you can replace it and change the input module or output module directly to meet the different industry requirement. In here, Q16 can support with five kinds of inputs, like HDMI 2K and HDMI 4K. Most of them from the camera or from the computer signal. The VGA, DVI interface, and for the desktop. The most important that's why we said Q16 can be applied in security and protection industry because it supports H.265 IP signals input. So let's check it in more detail. On Q16, it uses adapter H.265 technology, so it can support APC's 1080p standard IP camera, or it can support 16 PCs, 720 PCs IP. It can support 60 PCs, 720p IP cameras, and each H.265 input module with one name port. So let's calculate how many IP cameras it can support. Anyone have answer for now? Use the A by A. 8 input and 8 inputs, so and with the 1080p signals, it can support 64 signals input. But if you use the 720p standard, it can support 124 signals on Q16. It almost covers the IP cameras that will be applied on one screen without any branding area. And on the output, as we mentioned before, Q60 is focused on LCD video wall. And we know most of LCD displays have used HDMI or DVI interface. So both of the interface that have been applied on Q16. And also, DVI means it can be applied on LCD display too, because the sending card always with the HDMI or DVI output, DVI interface. And the last picture on the right side is the PBW. PBW output module, it uses X series design, net HDMI for the monitor signals in the external display, and the name port to connect with export software, and offer IP streaming that you can check all signals on the software. And just now we will introduce this page. HDMI for external display to check all 16 input signals on the left side. And with the H.265 name port to connect with the computer, it can show the IP streaming on your export software. So now let's check how to control it. On Q16, it without any button on front panel. So you can use the front panel to control or to set it. So how to control it? Actually, you can use the export to control it. And if you have used our RGBlink export software before, you just need to spend about 1 hour, 1 to 2 hours to learn how to control the Q16. So just like the output layer we have introduced before, Q60 can support 24 layers each output. Also, you can use those output to do splicing. And it means you can put 24 signals to do any layout. So let me share my export user interface for you. Let me show you how to control it and check the layout on our studio in the live demo. First, let me introduce the layout for you. In here, the middle is the Q60. We have connected with several input signals on the rear panel here. And on the screen, we have 3 screens. Screen 1, screen 2, and the screen 3. You can check it. This 4 screen showed 4 content, and this with 16 content or signal. And the last screen, screen 3, showed 24 layers on it. Let's check it how Q60 do it on the export software. First, on my computer, this is the export user interface. And we will contact with Q16 in the. This is the configuration on the rear panel for the Q16. The blue areas means output, and the purple color areas means input. If you connect with the signal, the icon will be changed into green color. Like the HDMI and the DVI, we have connected with the signal. Let's do a new bank. As we have mentioned, the Q60 can support 24 layers on each output. So we will drag the signal into the displayed one and do scale. And drag the signal to auto scale. And on the display 2 and display 3, we use it to splicing to 4K 1K. For us, if we want to drag 24 layers on it, it's so hard. So we have a quick stitch. Let's make it in the next bank. In here, we have a quick. Monitor means the display. For example, we select monitor 3 and choose the signal 3. And you can choose the layout in 4, 8, 9, 16, or 24. How about do the 24? Let's do it. You can check it can layout and to do the layout directly in the 24 layer. And I have a very one important information in Q16. Q16 can support up to 4K signal input. And in our mind, if you use 4K input, they will take over 4 layers. But in Q60, it just needs 1 layer, no matter what kinds of input signals. And on the output, just now we've showed you Q60 support HDMI and DVI. Both of them are 2K output. So in different monitor, you can choose different signals in each. Like in the monitor industry, one display to show the 4 signal, second display to show the 16 monitor, 16 display signals, sorry, and third monitor to show the 24 signals. So this is Q16 that have been applied on LCD video wall. Maybe you will ask, how about applied on the LED? Can be it applied on LCD display? Let me show you. In the Q60, the setting will have a little bit different with universal processors. If we want to control the LCD, we can select a different display system. For example, the display 5 we have connect with the LED display. And how to do it? Let me show you. And the tempo on the button with the custom in here. And we enter to choose, for example, like 1044 and 883, and just create it. You will make a new. So just like the picture I showed. You can check on the LED display. We have 24 layers on it, show the same signals. And let's do different setting on different bank. Like bank 2, When I select the bank 2, it will auto take. Let me drag other signals. I drag the same signal. Well, signal 4. It's a video. Let's do the scale. It also can be scaled. And to drag 24 layers on the display, it needs to spend much time. So let's do it in Q16. Signal 4 in 8. How about in 8 layout? Okay, this is a layout. And now I want to check it in 24 layer. Choose all and close all the layer. Please wait a moment. Now we choose 24 layer and sit. Okay. This is the 24 layer show the same content. And if you change the content, it's quite easy, just like the export setting before. Choose other signal and change it. Choose any content and change it. Like we choose the top right layer and change it. Double click, it will change the signal directly. So on Q16, if your LCD displayed below the 2K resolution, you can do any scale on it and any contents, any layout below the 24 layer. Okay, this is the live demo for the Q60 to show you how Q60 realizes the 24 layers in it. So how to apply the Q60 in your project? For example, like the monitor industry. Please wait a moment. I will share my PowerPoint for you. Okay. So that is why we call the Q60 multi-window solution on LCD video wall. And it be applied on the monitor room. As the picture I show. And it means no matter how many signals you want to be showed on them, we have 192 layers in one Q60 for you. And how to do the layout? Like in the 4 layer, 8 layer, 9 layer, 16 layer, based on your requirements and based on your project. If you are in the rental project, you also can use Q60 to do splicing. And for over 2K display, And offer the you in Q16, it offer you 24 layer for the splicing, just like the 3 screen that we showed before. If you are in the exhibition here, one Q60 can control the 16 screen to show as many video or pictures as you want. So this are RGBlink Q16 new Q series. If you want more layers, no problem. If you want one software to control, no problem. IP camera for monitors, 194 layers, and a customized layout are waiting for you. So thank you for everyone joining our webinar to share our idea on the Q16.